was their timing just right? Did they somehow trick the woman into it? Where is the man that she was with? Was he part of the scheme? Part of this trap that they were trying to set for Jesus? Is that how the woman could have been caught when she was? Lots of questions. Unfortunately, Scripture doesn't provide us the answers to them. The scribes and the Pharisees tell Jesus of Moses' law for cases of adultery, that the perpetrators should be stoned. But the law would have applied to both the woman and to the man. They both would have been stoned, but the man wasn't there. I think this really gives us insight into what the scribes and the Pharisees were attempting to do. They were looking to use parts of the law for their own purpose, and seemingly didn't care that their actions weren't following the full law. They were being conniving and deceitful. They were trying to force Jesus into responding in a way that they could use against him. If Jesus says that they can't stone the woman, they can say that he ignores the law and use this to get the people to turn against him. If he says, go ahead, stone her, they can say that he ordered her execution and get him in trouble with the Roman authorities. Or say that he's a hypocrite for not following and practicing the love and mercy that he teaches. Jesus knows Moses' law. But you can almost hear Jesus say, see, I am doing something new, which we heard in the first reading from the prophet Isaiah. In response to their attempted trap, Jesus doesn't tell them to ignore the law and to let the woman go. But he also doesn't tell them to follow the law and stone the woman. Rather, he simply bends down and starts writing in the dirt with his finger. What was he writing? Was it the names of her accusers? Was it a listing of their sins? Was it the 8th commandment? You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Was it good things that this woman had done to others and for others? What was he writing? Again, Scripture doesn't provide us that answer. What we do know is that when Jesus was done writing, he stood up and challenged them, saying, let the one among you who is without sin throw the first stone. Then they all went away, beginning with the elders, beginning with those who were most knowledgeable in the law, with the wisest, with those that were held in esteem, beginning with those that should have known better than to use the law for their own purpose. These elders realized that their trap had backfired on them, realized that they had failed in their attempt to trick Jesus. So what's this reading trying to tell us today? Stop judging that you may not be judged. This doesn't mean that we condone the action. Adultery, the action in this reading, is a sin. Jesus even tells the woman, go and from now on do not sin anymore. This reading shows us by example that we aren't in a position to judge anyone else. We can't possibly know someone else's motives. We can't know their thought process. We can't know their mental health. We can't possibly know what's in someone else's heart. And for this reason, the only true judge has to be God. love your neighbor as yourself. Said another way, we should follow the golden rule, to treat others as we would want to be treated. In all we do, we should strive for mercy and compassion, just like Jesus did for the woman, and just like Jesus did for the scribes and the Pharisees who were accusing him. Jesus could have confronted them publicly, verbally pointing out how their actions were not in keeping with the full law. And if he would have done that, he would have exposed them to public ridicule. But Jesus acted even toward them with mercy and compassion, giving them the opportunity to simply walk away. This passage, just like our second reading from St. Paul's letter to the Philippians, is also telling us to not dwell on the past, telling us that we can have a fresh start. Jesus tells the woman, "Neither do I condemn you." Jesus offers the woman hope, offers her the chance to forget what lies behind, and instead allows her to focus on what's in front of her. Focus on what lies ahead. Focus on following Jesus. None of us has the power to change the past. Once something is done, it can't be undone. So dwelling on the past is futile. But learning from the past can provide us guidance. We can and should seek forgiveness for those times in the past when we've messed up. Those times when we went astray. We can use our past to help us know what these items are, so that we can learn from them. We can then bring these items to Jesus and have him tell us that he doesn't condemn us. To have Jesus tell us to go and from now on do not sin anymore. How? By taking advantage of the sacrament of reconciliation. Father Jeff has added many additional time slots to hear confessions between now and Easter, and the bulletin will provide all of those details. Then, once Jesus has blessed us with his forgiveness, we can forget about the past and shift our focus to what lies ahead, to those things that we can change, to concern ourselves with how we act going forward. We can focus on strengthening our relationship with Jesus. Using St. Paul's words from our second reading, we can strain forward to what lies ahead and continue our pursuit towards our goal which is heaven. We're 2/3 of the way through Lent, only 2 weeks left until Easter. Hopefully you're using this Lent to transform your life, using prayer, fasting, and almsgiving to identify the areas in your life that need to change, to identify situations where you've strayed from God's path, using this time to modify your life so that you'll be able to hear the words from the prophet Isaiah and say for yourself, "See, I am doing something new.